If your money magic has been falling flat or feels stuck, this is a spell that can help shift your energy and get your prosperity flowing again. Today, I'm sharing a simple but powerful money magic spell jar technique. We're doing this one kitchen witch style with easy to find ingredients, most of which you probably already have. Coming up next. Welcome to the Witch's Studio. I am, of course, Mickie Mueller, author, illustrator, and witch, not necessarily in that order. And today we're doing kitchen witchery with a powerful DIY money magnet spell. Yes, this spell uses simple kitchen ingredients, but what really makes it work is how you charge it. This ritual I'm sharing with you uses gratitude and mindset to get you into the natural flow of abundance. It's not just about what you put in the jar, but it's how you align your energy with what you want to receive. This isn't just another cookie cutter money jar. This is a ritual I developed myself that's still working for me. In fact, I used it during a tough financial time, and not only did I land a great job, but an even better opportunity showed up right after. That's the power of being in the flow. Hey, editor Mickie here. I feel like I missed an important point that I really intended to make. Money spells are one of the most sought after kinds of magic, but they can also be one of the most difficult to find success with. So many of us have really difficult emotions surrounding finances, and those emotions can get all twisted up into our money spells. Things like worry, anxiety, desperation. And when do we decide to do a money spell? It's when we really need money and we're already in a state of lack. But that state of anxiety and that lack, that's the actual thing that's creating the roadblock around the magic that we're trying to cast. So that's what the charging ritual in this spell is designed to overcome. So I wanted to drop in here and clarify that because I think that when we understand why a spell works, then it can really elevate our witchcraft. Okay, back to previous Mickie. That's why this spell is charged every payday using a metal plate. It's an easy and practical way to feed it the energy of money when it's actually coming in already. You can even turn the jar into a money plant like this one if you want. I first presented this technique as a money plant spell at the official Witches Sabbath, which was an online event in 2024. I'm offering a recording of that presentation, including a Q&A with the organizer, Devin Hunter, over on my Patreon. There you'll also find a download for a printable leaves that I included and step-by-step instructions. It works just as well as a jar if you don't want to do the plant. I've tried both and it really does work. So if you're ready to get out of your own way and start attracting more wealth with ease, let's dive in and make this magic jar together. I'll show you everything you need and even offer easy substitutions as well. Let's make some magic. All my ingredients are in some of my most opulent containers for that money magic vibe. All kitchen and home ingredients. I'm going to bless and cleanse my jar with sacred smoke. I decided to use this good fortune incense. Substitute saffron, pine, patchouli, or any kind of incense that you like for bringing money in. This is a jar that I've just had sitting around on top of my refrigerator, so I definitely wanted to make sure I cleansed it by just wafting smoke over it and visualizing its energy being boosted. This is just a canning jar, but you can also use an empty jelly jar or any kind of jar, whether it's brand new or recycled. I love using smoke to create sacred space. If you want this spell to be really budget, you don't have to use a big jar like this. You can use a smaller jar because, of course, your ingredients will be in smaller quantities. Really, the only requirements for your jar is that it's flat on the bottom so that it can sit on the tray and big enough that you can fit the magnet in. This was an after Halloween find that I use for my tray, but I have some other options for you as well. It's going to need to be a metal tray, and it doesn't need to be fancy. In this instance, I'm using a metal lid. Galvanized steel works great. I found these shapes at Dollar Tree, and that also would work fine for a charging plate. So check around the house, hit discount stores, and even secondhand stores and just make sure it's a size that your jar will fit on it. When you're sourcing your tray, I recommend that you carry a magnet with you, whether it's around the house or when you're shopping, because you want a tray that will attract the magnet. That is, a tray that the magnet will stick to. It's really easy to test that way. You can use any kind of magnet you want. They can be refrigerator magnets. You can cut a little piece off of one of those magnets that you get in the mail. These magnets were actually part of an old shower curtain. Just like any other spell ingredient, I'm going to charge it with my intention that it will draw money in the same way that it draws metal. No matter what other ingredients you include, the magnet should go in first because you want it to be able to rest up against the metal tray when you charge it. Now I'm going to add some actual currency because like attracts like. This coin shows a plant on it. I feel like that will bring in the idea of growth. The denomination isn't important. As I charge it, I like to think about all the transactions these coins have been part of. Now this isn't necessary, but sometimes it's fun to add a coin that has your birth year on it. It's just another way to tie the energy of the money to you. I'm adding lots of things that represent money. This is iron pyrite. I happen to have a few pieces of this. If you don't have any pyrite, don't worry about it. This is what it looks like. They look like little gold nuggets, but you can add something else that reminds you of gold. Maybe you have a little section of gold chain, gold or silver foil from a fancy chocolate, or perhaps some gold glitter. Or maybe you have other stones that you would prefer to use. There's a lodestone I have here that's magnetic. I also have a little piece of tiger eye and a green aventurine. Any of these would work fine. Next, I'm going to get into some of my kitchen herbs. This is ginger, cinnamon, and basil. And yes, if you want those labels, there's a link right up here where you can grab them for free. This is ginger, which is great for money and also power, but also love and protection. This one is going to boost the energy of any spell that you use it in. Cinnamon is another classic kitchen witch money herb. But let's talk for a minute about the love aspect. Financial security can help us to spend more time with loved ones. And as I add the basil, think date nights, road trips, or having the money to help out a loved one in need. And of course, money can't buy love, but financial freedom can sure put your heart at ease. And you can use as much or as little of these herbs as you wish to. You can see I've got a little bit of layering in there, and it's starting to look kind of cute. So let's talk for a minute about some free ingredients. This is clover. I picked it out of my yard. Just let it dry for a couple of days and crunched it up. You could forage for all kinds of things. Crunch up some dry oak leaves. How about some dried dandelion for wish granting? And yeah, I have a video here that's all about foraging for magical ingredients, so you can check that out if you want some free spell ingredients for your jar. If you're starting from fresh herbs, do make sure that you dry them thoroughly, otherwise they will mold in your jar, and that is not good for attracting money. Or anything good, really. Think about other things that you could add. Maybe dried orange peels. Those are great for prosperity magic. I have a honeysuckle bush that grows right outside my window, and honeysuckle is great for money magic. So I've got some dried honeysuckle flowers that I'm going to add to this spell. I really want you to feel empowered to shake this spell up a little bit and make it your own. I mean, don't literally shake it. Lentils is a great ingredient to add for any money magic. If you don't have any on hand, I got these at Dollar Tree. I find lentils to be really sensory. They kind of feel like velvet. So as you're charging them, I really recommend just running them through your fingers. They look like little coins. They're flat and round, just like a coin. And again, as we were talking about love, lentils can be used to feed people. It's food, it's nurturing, it's lovely. I also have cloves to add. These are great for prosperity magic, yes, but also for protection magic. And protecting your finances is part of money magic. I like to awaken the herb or whatever ingredient I'm adding by just telling it what I would like it to do. Basically awakening those attributes within the herb before I add it. Now this next one might not be super common in everybody's kitchen. This is saffron, and for an herb, it's kind of expensive. I have it because I used it for one of the recipes in my book, Llewellyn's Little Book of Halloween. This is another one of those that's also a great love ingredient. I love it for money spells because it is so expensive and it just kind of smells like magic to me. So I'm using it because I happen to have it, but I have a much more affordable way that you can add saffron to your spell. Yep, this saffron rice. It is super affordable, and I was going to use rice anyway because rice has properties of fertility, prosperity, and abundance. It also has dried sweet peppers and tomatoes, neither of which will hurt your money spell a bit. I think of a big harvest. If you're vegetarian or vegan, you might give this a miss, as it does contain dried chicken stock, but if you don't mind that kind of thing, you can think winner, winner, chicken dinner. And you don't have to use saffron at all. You can just use plain rice if you prefer. I've got some chunky sea salt that I'm going to top this one off with. In the ancient world, salt was considered a symbol of wealth, and it also adds energies of protection and purification to your spell. Okay, so now that this jar is filled, I am going to charge it with that feeling. You know the one? That feeling when a check arrives unexpectedly or expectedly and you're so happy to have it. If you want to decorate the top of the lid in some way, you absolutely can. Seal it with wax, do whatever you want, but the real powerhouse to this spell is the magnet underneath. When that magnet is set on the charging plate, it starts to pull the energy from the jar downward towards you and into your life. I like to burn money candles on the surface of my plate when it's not being used for the jar. Every time you get money, if it's a paycheck, if someone gives you back money that they owe you, if you receive a gift of money, or even a refund, any kind of financial advantage that you receive, that is when you're going to put the jar on the charging plate. Because now you're excited. Now you have money. You've received, and that is the time to charge this spell, is when you have received. I usually leave mine on the charging plate for about 24 hours, and then I move it to another shelf and leave it there until the next time I get paid. Moving your money jar to the charging plate every time you receive money turns it into a ritual of gratitude, a moment of celebration, and it really, really helps to energize your ability to receive. You can also use that charging plate for any other money spells that you want to do. Mine sits on my dining room table, and sometimes I will sit there and have my breakfast and light a money candle while I'm eating breakfast. It really helps to alleviate some of that anxiety, worry, and bad feelings that we carry around money, to have this ritual in place. And then it turns into a celebration instead of worry and frustration. And even if you're not using the plant version that I have here and you're using just the jar, I like to think of it in the way that you would water a plant. You don't want to water it all the time, so don't leave it on the tray. Do it with intention when the money rolls in. This is a tool that I have found really helps me get into the flow of abundance. After all, why not use the energy of money coming in to manifest more of that? It just makes good sense. So I hope you try this money magnet spell jar too. Get creative with it and let me know in the comments what ingredients you would add that you have easy access to, and make it your own. Don't forget to share this video with anyone you think it might help, because they'll be sure to thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you consider doing so. It's a free way to support my work, and be sure to cast your spell on the notification bell so you'll be among the first to catch my next video. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay brave, think for yourself, and remember, as always, to be your magic. Bye, everybody. A big thank you to my Patreon members for all your awesome support. You friends rock.